Surf Guide, and we are now reacting to the Young Dolph murder trial. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's set this up. There we go. Let's set up this. Okay, everything is everything.
That's the stipulation. Okay. The stipulation to the ownership of the phone. And 18 would be the notice of the authentication of the cell phone. All right, you ready to start with this?
Yeah, I do want to clarify something. So, on so we have to call detail records for the self-authenticating documents we just presented. There are 5 different flash drives. Should we do like 18A, 18B, C, D? Because also on the flash drive are extractions for the numbers that we intend to introduce, but would only be introduced through this witness envelope. How is this?
Or for the resolution.
So each flash drive will have, they may have the call detail records that are already stipulated as evidence, and some of them may have a phone number. One is already admitted as evidence, so that's why I was asking, should the call records be, say, if we're talking about phone number ending in 6236, for example, should there be 18B? I just want to point it clear for the record.
Sure.
And then
I think that might make it clearer.
Yeah.
So if reviewed,
yes,
the people will know what exhibit this refers to.
and then say the phone number comes in, it will come in number 20 or 21 or something like that, or that. And we can indicate that on the with the whole thing come in, it's 18A, B, C.
So what you're telling me is that we're now getting ready to get testimony as to each one of these people,
Yes,
each one of these phones,
yes,
and we're gonna have a flash drive to each.
yes.
I don't really think it makes any difference. We might as well just continue. Yeah, so let's say you do, the phone ending in 1625, which is the first number that's on your document.
Yes,
Just start with 19.
yes,
Yeah, let's keep it like that. Since there might be several layers to this, let's just continue that way.
yes.
Sounds like this week is might be up for a while.
So, I don't believe we'll be up there for very long.
We'll call you next time.
We'll be next year.
That would help.
I will next year.
All right, chat. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get back into this Young Dolph murder trial, day 2. Let's go. Let's go. Can we get some R.I.P. Dolphs in the chat? And make sure to like this video. The more you like the video, the more people we bring in. You guys have missed about 2 hours. I'll update you in a minute. Let's get into what they're talking about right now. If you want to join my other live, you can come here and join the live. Let's go, let's go. Let's get some R.I.P. Young Dolphs in the chat.
Yana,
Yes.
you're retired.
So ladies and gentlemen, what she's getting ready to read to you is what we call a stipulation. Stipulation is an agreement by the parties that a particular piece of evidence is what it says it is, without having to call a witness to say so. And that's done oftentimes just to kind of speed the trial up a little bit. So here we go.
Stipulation and what,
Okay. Well, do the stipulation first.
State of Tennessee versus Hernandez Govan, indictment number 2204769. Order stipulating ownership of 901-859-1460. Whereas there having been presented to me the Honorable Jennifer Johnson Mitchell, Judge of Division 10 of the Criminal Court of Tennessee, 30th Judicial District in Memphis, for the purpose of trial, phone number 901-859-1460 belongs to the defendant, Hernandez Govan. This stipulation is in relation to motions heard by the court and ruled upon on July 30th, 2025 by this honorable court in the above pending case. The ownership of 901-859-1460 is stipulated by the Assistant District Attorney and Attorney for Defendant Hernandez Govan and shall be entered into evidence by agreement. It is therefore ordered, adjudged, and decreed. Signed, Carla Taylor, Assistant District Attorney, Manny Aurora, Attorney for Defendant, and Judge Jennifer Johnson Mitchell. Signed, dated 8/19/25.
And so the next document she's going to read into evidence because it has been admitted into evidence is what is entitled a self-authenticating document as to certain cell phone records. We're going to hear some testimony about cell phone records of different people that you've heard testimony about already. And the law allows for certain records to be authenticated, again, without having to call a witness to testify about it through certain documents that come from the cell phone company. So she's getting ready to read that to you also.
State of Tennessee versus Hernandez Govan, indictment number 2204769. Self-authentication pursuant to Tennessee Rules of Evidence 90211. Pursuant to Tennessee Rules of Evidence 902, subsection 11, the following call records have self-authenticating certificates and are admissible into evidence. Justin Johnson, 901-236-1625. Cornelia Smith, 901-513-6236. 901-479-3786. Angela Arnold, 901-370-0185. And Anthony Mims, 901-692-2767. ATT GLDC file number 3359085. Certificates of authenticity are attached. Signed, Judge Jennifer Johnson Mitchell, Judge, Criminal Court, Division 10.
Thank you.
The state calls Michael Garner.
Make sure to hit that like button, man. RIP Young Dolph in the chat.
Stand right here, sir. Raise your right hand facing down.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
To hit the like button, all you gotta do is tap the top of the screen where you see the thumbs
Can
up
you say
at.
spell your name for the record?
My name
This is
Michael
day
Garner,
2
and
of the
last name
Young
is
Dolph trial.
G-A-R.
God bless everybody in the chat. Make sure to hit that like button in the
Currently
comment.
employed with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, TBI.
And what's your position?
I'm a special agent,
So how long have you been working for TBI?
13 months.
And just for the jury, what is TBI?
TBI is the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. We are the, I guess, top investigative agency in the state. So if any other agency, Sheriff's Department or Police Department, requires any assistance with any kind of investigation, they call upon the Bureau for assistance.
Prior to working at TBI, where were you?
I was a detective at the City Methodist Police Department.
Okay. And how long have you been in that position?
I was with the police department for 20 years before I retired.
Was there a special unit or division you were assigned to?
My last assignment was the digital forensics unit. I was a detective in that unit.
And as a part of your job duties, did you often look at cell phones?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you get data from cell phones?
Yes, ma'am.
So how would you get data from cell phones?
So the process is similar with the TBI and with the Memphis Police Department. We have hardware and software that is designed to take the machine language from the phone, because it's a computer, and remove that data from that device in a forensically sound method. And then we use software to then decode that from a machine language to a human readable language. And we use products like Celebrite and Gray Key to both extract and decode and parse that data.
So the cell phones that you look at, are those cell phones usually a part of some sort of investigation?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you recall looking at cell phones related to the investigation on the Adolph Thornton homicide?
Yes, ma'am.
And the phones that you looked at for this particular case, I'm going to go through them one by one, but do you recall looking at an LG phone?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you recall that number?
Shout out not all, man. God bless
Do you
you.
recall that device having a phone?
Shout out to my agents, man. R.I.P.
Yes, ma'am.
Young Dolph.
Do you recall looking at an iPhone?
Make sure to hit that like button, y'all.
And did one of those devices have a phone number ending in
R.I.P. Dolph.
1625?
Yes. The iPhone 11. Yes, ma'am.
And did you happen to have another iPhone 11?
R.I.P. Dolph in the chat.
iPhone 11 Pro
Okay.
that I also examined.
Did that device have a phone number ending in 27?
Make sure to hit that like button. When you hit the like button, it brings more people in here.
Samsung Galaxy.
Yes, ma'am.
And
God bless the chat. If you woke up this morning and God woke you up, God bless you.
Are one of those numbers 3786?
Yes, ma'am.
And is that other number 6236?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
This is day 2 of the Young Dolph murder trial.
Devices,
Yes, ma'am.
the physical devices.
I did.
Okay. And you talked earlier about using a software called Celebrate.
Yes, ma'am.
So when you extracted data from those particular phones in this,
Y'all want to, y'all could go watch it over here too. Send my boy a link real quick. Give me a second, people. Y'all can go check out the Big Surf Guy page on Instagram. News You Can Use podcast. Everybody trying to call me, I'm busy. Alright, let's get back to it.
investigation, did you use Celebrate to decode the data?
I did. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And did you happen to analyze that data?
No, ma'am, I did not.
Okay, do you happen to know who analyzed that data?
Once I parse the data, I create a report. That data was then given to Sergeant Gaffney and Sergeant Brown.
I'm going to show you 5 flash drives. Do you happen to know what those flash drives are?
These flash drives contain CDRs and phone extraction reports that I generated.
Okay. And have you seen those flash drives before?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How do you know that you've seen them before?
I opened each flash drive and examined the data that was on just to make sure that what was written on the envelope was actually contained on the flash drive right outside about 30 minutes ago.
Did you happen to write anything on the envelopes?
I put my initials on each envelope.
R.I.P. Young Dolph in the chat.
And examined what was on it. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And in your evaluation of the contents,
Make sure to hit that like button.
do you happen to know whose numbers?
If y'all want me to continue this video, hit the like button.
The Justin Johnson extraction that I have right here is the telephone number ending at 1625. And that contains the phone and the CDRs that were done on that. This envelope here says Cornelius, my name is Cornelius Smith. That's the phone number.
R.I.P. Dolph in the chat. If y'all want me to continue this video, hit the like button.
The Cornelius Smith's phone had 2 numbers associated with it. This is the CDR for the phone number ending in 3786. So that's just the CDRs only on that one. This is Anthony Mims' iPhone extraction and the CDRs for phone number ending in 2767. And Angela Arnold, LG extraction and CDRs for phone number ending in 0185.
And just for this clarification, could you explain what is a CDR?
So a CDR is an acronym for Call Detail Records. So a phone has all the calls that you make, but it's user accessible. So you can go in and delete calls and things like that. A CDR is from the carrier, the Call Detail Records. So you have an AT&T phone, law enforcement can submit paperwork to AT&T to get the Call Detail Records. And we use these in forensics to kind of verify and validate what we find on the phone. And it can also show sometimes if data was deleted from the phone, the user cannot access the CDR, the call detail records. So if we see calls that are missing, it will show up in the CDRs. So we just use the CDRs to validate and marry up with the phone data. And we get that from the carriers, AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile.
Your Honor, we'd like to enter all 5 of those flash drives as the next number exhibits.
Okay.
The first one is, this is a brown envelope that contains a zip drive. The envelope is labeled Dustin Johnson, extraction and CDR 1625, with the officer's initials on the mark that is exhibit 19. The next one is envelope that contains a zip drive. It's for Cornelius Smith. It says phone dump and CDR for number 6236 that has the officer's initials on it also. We'll mark that as exhibit 20. Also belongs to Cornelius Smith. It's a brown envelope with a zip drive inside. marked as Exhibit 21. The next one is for Anthony Mims. It is a brown envelope with a zip drive inside. It is a phone extraction and call detail records for phone number 2767 with the officer's signature. The initials will mark it as Exhibit 22. And the last one is for Angela Arnold. His phone extraction and call detail records for phone number 0185 with the officer's signature. Will mark it as Exhibit 23.
And just for clarification, you did not analyze those extractions.
No, ma'am, I did not.
Okay. No further questions, ma'am?
Hi there, Abby. My name is Manny O'Rourke. We met earlier today.
Yes, sir.
Garner, I'm sorry. It says whole doesn't here. With regards to my understanding of cell phones, if you could just sort of dumb it down for me. CDRs, call data records,
Call detail.
call detail records.
Yes, sir.
And so that tells you what phone calls were made, when they were made, stuff like that.
Yes, sir.
And it also gives you like GPS coordinates of approximately which tower would have been used to make that call.
The GPS that are in the records relate to the tower location. So, yes, sir.
Okay. So you would agree that the tower locations aren't 100% accurate. It's just there could be a tower 10 feet from me, but if it's full, it's going to kick me down half a mile or whatever it might be.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So with the call detail record, you can see who called whom,
Yes, sir.
incoming, outgoing, and there is information as to which tower it would have been used. It doesn't put you there necessarily, but relatively close, right?
Just the device connected to that tower. Yes, sir.
Okay. And you were asked to sort of do the location from the CDRs for just two different phones as part of your investigation, right?
That's correct, sir.
And that was the 1625 for Justin Johnson,
Yes, sir.
and then the 6236 for Mr. Cornelius Smith.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
And you were asked to do that in 2024.
Yes, sir.
Nobody's ever asked you from the DA's office or anyplace else to sort of map out anybody else's phone as to where they might have been at any given time.
No, sir.
Okay. With regards to the towers, we were talking about, these are AT&T records that you downloaded or whatever the term would be, right?
I would need to look at them. I know one of them was a T-Mobile.
Okay, it doesn't matter. It's all good for the evidence. I lost my train of thought. You think I'd be smarter than that, but with regards to these phones, you did a slide that you were kind enough to share with me. Could you put that up, please? It is.
Has Ms. Taylor signature offering?
Yes, Your Honor. It's number 14, slide. We can just,
Is it 14?
no, Your Honor, it's slide 14.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Let's do this. I'm going to show you, did you do a sort of a PowerPoint slideshow to prepare in this case?
No, sir.
Okay. So this cyber crimes thing, that's not you?
That was for trial last year, sir.
Okay. Related trial in this case,
Yes, sir.
for Justin Johnson?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
The information is still the same. You didn't do any more location data for any
That's
other
correct.
phone?
That's correct, sir.
Just those two phones I mentioned,
Yes, sir.
Justin and Cornelius?
Yes, sir.
Okay. As part of that trial, if I could show you one of the items that you created. Text messages and stuff like that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then people could delete those, this and that, and you would see a text was sent on the CDR, but you wouldn't know what was sent.
Correct. No content. Yes, sir.
Okay. With regards to the codes next to the phones, there's like 2A, there's 11, stuff like that. What does 2A mean if it's written next to the phone call?
I would actually like to see the definitions page if I could go over.
Sure.
We
Could I show them the difference?
Yes, sir. The code 02A, those are call came in, was not answered, and was sent to voicemail.
Okay. And what about the 11 that's farther down?
Actually, I know that code 11 is that when someone places a call, they did not restrict their phone number from being viewed from the person who's calling them.
Okay. And with regards to those phone calls, some providers, like once you hit the enter button, the seconds of the call start immediately right away, as soon as I hit a call. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And then in some cases, until the phone gets picked up, it doesn't tell you how long the phone call is. If I'm calling you and I hit Special Agent Garner call,
Yes, sir.
the clock starts running, right?
Yes, sir.
So generally, if the phone's gonna ring 3, 4, 5 times, you'll have 15, 20 seconds sort of already on the call, even though nobody picked it up.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
And then if it goes to voicemail, you can have another 10 or 15 seconds on the call, or however long your voicemail is.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then with code 11, we don't know for sure if it's picked up or not, but it could have gone to voicemail, it could go anywhere. It's just somebody would have to testify to it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did I repeat that back?
Absolutely.
With regards to Pressure World or AutoZone, you were asked to review any of the 1625 or the 6236 phone records for those areas, right?
No, sir, I was not.
Okay. And so we had testimony you talked about, well, you haven't talked about it, but if I live, let's say for example, this hypothetical Graphic Street, and then somebody else lives like 2, maybe 3 minutes away, maybe the street over, something like that, would the same tower arguably be able to be pinging off both their phones?
Yes, it's, yes, absolutely.
All right. So if I live near somebody, the phones are going to ping, it doesn't necessarily mean I'm at their house or there, I'm just in the area.
It's in the area of the tower provides service for. Yes, sir.
And if the tower closest to me was full, like you said, it could kick out half a mile up the road to the next tower.
To the next available tower. Yes, sir.
Okay. One second. And with regards to tower coverage, let's just say in the Memphis area, I mean, how many miles does a tower arguably cover if it had,
It's not even miles, sir.
okay,
So to actually get the coverage of the tower, you'd have to do a drive test.
okay,
We did not do a drive test on this.
okay,
From past experience, having done towers, you can roughly estimate the coverage of a tower by finding the closest tower to it and multiplying that distance by 0.6.
okay,
And that's not exact, that is an estimate,
sure,
because the cell signals are actually going to overlap so that it can provide the best coverage. So it's not going to be a 50-50. So the coverage would be, but from the one cell tower to the next, and then that distance multiplied by 0.6.
I don't want to do too much math, that's why I became a lawyer.
Yes, sir.
But again, that's if that tower has space on it, otherwise you could be kicked out further.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you recall how many towers were in the Orange Mound area?
I do not recall.
Okay.
When I mapped out the T-Mobile records, I did a 10-mile radius, and just to show how many T-Mobile towers were in a 10-mile radius from an address, and I think it was 553 T-Mobile towers that were in that 10-mile radius.
All right, and then you would have more towers for AT&T or Sprint or other stuff like that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And again, the only location stuff that they were asked you to do was 1625 and 6236, just in the formulas. And nothing about autozone pressure wood.
Yes, sir.
I think that's all I have. Thank you, Mr.
Yes, sir.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's lunchtime. Don't go talk about this. Take your notes here. Go enjoy your lunch, and we'll be back here at 2 o'clock.
What time is it?
All right, y'all, let's get past lunchtime real quick. Make sure to like and subscribe, and RIP Dolph in the chat. All right, lunchtime is over. Let's go.
Get rid of
Moving now into the courtroom.
That would call Sergeant Brown.
you need to enter the.
Oh, that's
Go ahead.
This is entitled Order Stipulating Ownership of 901-618-3848 Whereas there having been presented to me the Honorable Jennifer Johnson Mitchell, Judge of Division 10 of the Criminal Court of Tennessee, 30th Judicial District, administers for the purpose of trial, phone number 901-618-3848 belongs to the defendant Hernandez Govan. The ownership of 901-618-3848 is stipulated by the Assistant District Attorney. The attorney for the defendant, Hernandez Govan, shall be entered into evidence by agreement. It is therefore ordered, adjudged, and decreed.
Call your next witness.
State your name, call Sergeant Brown.
Stand right here, sir. Raise your right hand facing the eye.
Swear or affirm to tell the truth.
I do. Sergeant Browning, please state your first and last name.
Jesse Browning,
And for the benefit of our viewers, could you spell your first and last name?
JESSE-BROWNING,
And where are you employed?
Memphis Police Department.
Your capacity.
At the multi-agency game.
And have you attained a certain rank? I call you Sergeant Brown, but in fact, Sergeant Brown.
Sergeant Brown.
And were you tasked with the investigation involving the homicide of Adolph Jr.?
I was,
And how did you become involved with that investigation?
my team was tasked sometime, some of my team tasked sometime in December when it was revealed.
December of 2021?
21, yes, December 21, that there was more than just a simple murder. It kind of turned into more of a conspiracy.
And what did you do as a result of that, becoming part of the investigation?
We just started working the conspiracy into the investigations. It was called detailed records, phones, interviews. It could be all kinds of things.
Specifically, did you become involved in the investigation of Mr. Hernandez Govan?
I do.
And what did you do as a result of the investigation? Did you do anything separate from the general investigation?
As far as like the Title III or
Did you collect call detail records?
yes, we collected all detailed records, phones, you name it, we collected it on this investigation.
And did you analyze those records?
We did.
And what did you do to analyze?
I use a software called Penlink or PLX, which just makes it easier, one, to create reports and then analyze the records. Generally in just because they all come in UTC, you can kind of get the records in more of a coordinated time. But we also analyze the actual raw records too, just to verify.
And did you prepare a PowerPoint presentation to help explain to the jury what you looked at when you analyzed it?
Yes, it's called detailed records and phones.
If we could ask Mr. Sergeant.
Any objections?
None.
You look at that and see if you recognize the contents of the envelope. Yes. And what does it be?
It's just a thumb drive. It's got my PowerPoint on it. It's got my initials, my IBM on it.
All right, we can have the evidence as to this number.
Please ask for the PowerPoint was created for completion segment that we did.
When was the PowerPoint completed? Completed?
The final parts of it, with the specifically the records, was yesterday.
And Your Honor, yeah, actually the evidence.
This is an envelope containing what's being described as a thumb drive, and it has Sergeant Brown's name on it. The red thumb drive on the inside. Will mark it as exhibit 25.
jurors, this PowerPoint is comprised from exhibits 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23. Commissioner Pope.
Yes.
This is your presentation, is that correct?
That's correct.
And we will go through it. No, it is small. Could you tell us, or if it would be better if you get, with the court's permission, you can get down and explain what we are looking at here.
Okay, so this is going to be essentially a screenshot of the information associated to Justin Johnson's cellular device. So it's just, essentially take out the remove the important information for the PowerPoint purposes, like his IMEI, MZs, telephone numbers, things of that.
We named some things we have probably never heard of. Say that again.
So like the IMEI is the number that, it's essentially a serial number that belongs to the device, and then an MZ is generally a serial number that belongs to like your SIM card or your network. So we use those things to compare. And then telephone numbers. As you can see, I think on Justin Johnson, it has like his email address, which has maybe a partial of his name. So essentially, it just shows the things that are associated with that cellular device.
And also for the benefit of our jurors, they will have access to this PowerPoint. And this is Justin Johnson's number in 901-236-1625. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. We have another.
Yeah, so this is going to be same information but it's for Cornelius Smith's cellular device, which his last used number for that phone was 901-513-6236. Correct. And then this cellular device is one that belongs to Angela Arnold for the number of 901-370-0185. Primarily has the same information you can use to compare.
So we have a date of July 27, 2021.
That's correct.
Is there any significance to that? No, that date's right.
For us, we found that was significant from the interview with Angela Arnold, or no, actually Cornelius Smith, I'm sorry.
What are we looking at?
So on the 27th, you have, essentially, we take the call detail records in the software and we create a hot number list. So a hot number list would be, if you're looking at your phone, for me it'd be, my girlfriend or my mom or my dad. That'd probably be your typical top 5 callers. It can vary, but it's just showing your top callers and down.
And this is for a particular date?
Yeah, so I filtered it for that actual day, so it's not the totality of the records, it's just for that day. And this telephone number belongs to Justin Johnson, which is 901-236-1625. And then as you see, when we look at the records, his top caller is going to be a number that belongs to Hernandez Govan, and shows like 24 communications. The next number is going to be for Anthony Mims, and his telephone number is 901-692-2767. And as you can see, Hernandez Govan on that day, again filtered for the 27th, is around the 8th or 9th call. So it's seven communications. So the significance for this is that on July 27, 2021, we look at Justin Johnson's cellular device. We find Hernandez Govan's telephone number, as you say, it's labeled Big Bruh Quet, and that was an incoming text message to Justin Johnson, and it's just an address 4641 Bowenshire, which is still smoking Memphis. It's a shop owned by Anthony Mims and his business partner, Mr. Lambert. Can you go back? I apologize. And just to note, that time was at 1937-21. And it shows significance because he's getting the text from Govan, and then on the next slide you'll see Justin Johnson actually sends an outgoing iMessage to an individual we identified as Harry Lockhart, and he just says he's talking to Joe, indicating that maybe he's at the smoke shop and he's talking to Joe. And then you see at 21:08, 43 hours, Anthony Mims creates a phone contact for Justin Johnson, and that contact he labeled as Drop, which is an alias. We use short alias of what we know Justin Johnson to be, just like a short alias we know Jook to be. He usually goes by Big Jook or Jook, and then we've heard referred to Drop, or his actual name that he uses is Straight Drop on YouTube and things like that.
So when you said you created a contact, he was putting the phone number into his phone.
Right, he created that contact to be at 7/27/2021, 9/8/47 p.m. He creates that contact, and then, as you see, 21:08, 49 hours. Justin Johnson creates a contact for Anthony Mims' telephone number and labels it Jook, which is the alias. So. Both these individuals in relatively in the same time frame creating contacts for each other. Again, indicating that they're probably within communication distance or in the same vicinity. So this is the following day, July 28th. So after that, and as you see here, so Justin Johnson, his cellular device shows an outgoing, so it's an iMessage to Jermaine Sears with the address of 3641 Allendale Lane. And then that same day at 17:24 hours, we have an incident at the, it was called the Double R Auto Services, and it's at 821 South Highland Street, and the two victims that just worked at the shop state that a tan BMW is being chased by a burgundy Dodge Charger. Three males get out of the Charger and start firing upon an unknown male and a female who remained in the car. The unknown male and the BMW fled. We were able to later identify that to be one Terrence Baker, his prints that hit on the car, but he never filed a police report or would communicate with officers about the incident at all.
So the victim was Terrence Baker?
Correct. He just wouldn't communicate with us or anyone. And as you see here, the 17:24 hours, that address, the address at the shop, the 821 or 823 South Highland.
I think 833?
It's approximately, I have it on there, I can't read it because it's kind of far, 0.49 miles away, so it's not that far away.
You're talking about this address here for 30?
So that address is actually 3645 Allendale. He sent a different address. If you go to the next slide.
Before we go to the next slide, you indicated that the victim of the shooting was Terrence Baker. Does he go by any other name?
Yes, he goes by Wu, or paper route Wu.
And as part of your investigation, if you determine him to be a artist on
Yes,
PRE?
he's an artist. He's an artist on PRE. As you see, so here is the actual address, the 3645 Allendale, and the address that Justin sent was right next door. So it was actually 3641. So He just had the address wrong. Here's so later that day, 1804 hours, Mississippi finds the Dodge Charger. Witnesses on the scene say that they see 3 males jump out and run. The vehicle was stolen. They then processed that vehicle, which came back with some APHIS hits. So the fingerprint, when they dusted the vehicle, they had prints come back as to be for Justin Johnson, Rashad Hill, and Cavius Wesley. And then also they located a spent .40 caliber cartridge casing on the driver's side floorboard, and that spent cartridge casing showed to correlate with the cartridge casing found on the scene at the Double R shop over on South Highland Street. And then this is August 13th, so we get to this date from, again, Cornelius' interview. We look at the hot number list. We see that 859-1460, a number that belongs to Govan, had 12 communications with Justin Johnson on that day. He was the top caller.
Before we get there, can you go back just a bit? So we mentioned Cornelius. Do you know when Mr. Govan or Justin Johnson or Juke's number appeared with Cornelius? You be able to ascertain the information?
It would be hard to say just because, we get records for a certain amount of time. So I wouldn't be able to determine. I would be able to say a date just based off records we have, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they weren't communicating prior to that.
If you can, the records that you have, when is the first time that you see any of the individuals appear in Cornelius' phone?
I don't know. I don't have that, to be honest with you. So again, for this, it's the communications for Justin Johnson, and it's going to be on August 13th, 2021. And as you can see here for Justin, he's got 12 communications with Hernandez Govan, who's his top caller. And then this is going to be the same, so another hot number list for Cornelius Smith. Now, the number's different because he had this telephone number, same device, but different telephone number, which is 901-479-3786. I think on his device it showed that number was last used in September, so that means that probably sometime he changes over to the number you saw earlier. And on that hot number list, you see Bobby Carter has 33 communications, which is about his third caller. And then Devin Burns is about a 6th caller. And then you have Hernandez Govan with 8 communications, about his 10th caller.
We see his first one is Angela Arnold.
Correct. And then on this one we have Anthony Minton's hot number list, and again, it's filtered for just the 13th. And as you can see here, Govan's number 4, I think that's 4 communications. He's actually 10, maybe 9 callers now. As you can see, you have a bunch of unknown, and then you have number 2 callers, just a list of numbers. That's usually just information getting from the cell phone company and other things, like other traffic, but actual numbers is about 9 or 10. And then on August 13th, at 13:45 hours, we have the 911 call where Terrence Baker's cellular device calls and says that he's at Allendale being shot at, he's hiding. They asked for his name, he refused to give it. He just told them to hurry up, they're coming after him. And then this will be communications with the conspirators that are with Justin Johnson and Cornelius Smith. And then the other individuals, Anthony Mims, Hernandez Govan, and any variation of their other numbers at that time. So as you can see, it's represented in color. Is essentially the light pink is going to be Hernandez Govan, the blue is Anthony Mims, and then on the left it's, you can see, I think I've got Justin Johnson is yellow, and then Cornelius Smith is green, just to kind of, so you can see the kind of the flow of things. And so essentially on November 2nd, we had Justin Johnson had 7 communications with the cellular device that belongs to Govan, and then he had 4 communications.
And I'm sorry, are these in chronological order on the date?
Correct.
So he communicated, Justin communicated with Hernandez Govan, then he communicated with Anthony Mims, then he communicated with Govan again, then he communicated with Mims again, and then he communicated with Govan.
Correct. And then essentially this is just those call detail records, but the actual call detail records, it's got like service codes, tower information. You'll see it has a version of the IMEI. It won't give you the actual IMEI if they kind of do some equation where they change the last 2 digits so people can't steal the IMEI off the records and create their own kind of own service or their own account. So, but it just gives you a little bit more information. It can tell you call voicemail if there's multiple users on one call, if they're doing 3-way, things of that nature. And then again, as you can see, you have Justin Johnson in the yellow, Cornelius Smith in the green, and essentially it just kind of shows the way they're cut, like who they're communicating with, and the kind of the flow in chronological order, how they're talking. So, as you can see, Justin Johnson had 7 with Hernandez Govan. Justin Johnson had 4 with Anthony Mims, and then he had 0 with Cornelius. And then Cornelius had 20 communications with Hernandez Govan, but he had 0 with Justin and 0 with Anthony Mims. And then this is just the actual raw records. It just depicts what that is. So at the top you have Justin Johnson's records, and then at the bottom you have Cornelius Smith's records. And again, another report showing that Justin Johnson had 7 communications with Hernandez Govan. On November 4th, he had 1 with Anthony Mims and 0 with Cornelius. And then Cornelius had 2 with Hernandez Govan, 0 with Justin Johnson, or Anthony Mims, and 0 with Justin Johnson. And then these are just the, again, you have Justin Johnson's records that you get from the cell phone company, and then you have Cornelius Smith's records that come with the cell phone company. Again,
For November 5th, 2024.
it's November 5th, and as you can see, it's harder for me to see, but in the yellow and the green, they're kind of throughout the day. But Justin Johnson has 1 communication with Hernandez Govan, 0 with Anthony Mims, and then he has 1 communication with Cornelius Smith. And then if you look on this side, it's Cornelius Smith has 4 communications with Hernandez Govan. He has 0 with Anthony Mims, and then of course 1 with Justin Johnson. And then these are those records that represent that. then this is November 6th. You have Justin Johnson has 0 communications with GoBand. He has 2 with Anthony Mims. He has 1 with Cornelius Smith. And then as you see, Cornelius Smith has 4 with Hernandez Govan, 0 with Anthony Mims, and then 1 with Justin Johnson. And then as you see, these are just the raw records representing those individual calls. Again, November 12th, you have 0 communications with Hernandez Govan. Justin Johnson. Yeah, Justin Johnson has 0 communications. He has 3 with Anthony Mims and 0 with Cornelius. And then Cornelius has 5 communications with Hernandez Govan. He has 0 with Anthony Mims and 0 with Cornelius Smith. And again, these are just the raw records that represent that report. And then November 15th, 2021, you have Justin Johnson has 0 communication with Hernandez Govan. He has 0 communication with Anthony Mims. But he has 14 communications with Cornelius Smith. And then on Cornelius Smith, he has 2 communications with Hernandez Govan. He has 0 with Anthony Mims. And then, of course, he has 14 communications with Justin Johnson. And then raw data. This is just the raw data. And then November 17th, obviously, is the day of the homicide. So if we look at the hot number list on the day of the homicide, Cornelius Smith hot number list has 12 communications with Justin Johnson. It's about his fourth top caller. He has 11 with Hernandez Govan, and then he has 8 with Andy. A with Angela Arnold.